one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. We have a presentation for you all to start off the meeting at the People Healthy Lane.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa Kirsten. I am the program coordinator for Active People Healthy Lane. We are running out of a Creating Healthy Schools and Community grant. There's several grantees all across New York State that received this grant, and we were lucky enough to get it in this area as well. So it's a newer program. We only really got started last year, so a lot of people haven't heard of us yet. But we're actually run through Finger Lakes Community Action Program, so we're just kind of under their umbrella, operating this with this grant with them. One of our goals is for Creating Healthy Schools and Community is to establish and support sustainable, healthy communities. So we want to, we're looking at the long-term visions of your communities and how we can make them healthier, more accessible to people to be able to bike and walk through the communities, because that helps the longevity of your towns to continue on through the generations. We work with policies, systems, and environments. So we work with policies, and then once you guys, what it is, so they have things called complete streets or safe routes policies that some other townships like Palmyra, Lyons, and some other ones around here have those policies already in effect. And it just means that your township has a vision as far as where you guys want to head down the road, your longevity, your, you know, what are your goals for your township? And so that's kind of what we're doing. I am not the most experienced at this presentation stuff, guys, so please be forgiving with me. So being physically active is one of the most important ways people can improve their health. And Wayne County has one of the highest obesity rates in the entire state of New York. So we were chosen based off of our, the health disparities that we have, the lack of resources that we have, just some of those kind of struggles. So that's why certain parts of Wayne County were decided to be approved for this grant. So having access, whether no matter how you get around the township, everybody has the right to access public sidewalks. If they're not safe for people in a wheelchair, they may not utilize that sidewalk, or they're hard for you to push your child down in a stroller with, that might be a barrier that makes it hard for you to get around, using what they call active transportation, which is any mode of actively transporting around a community. So our goal is to show an equal importance to pedestrians, bicyclists, and motorists. It's not about favoring one over another. It's just about showing consideration for everybody. So if you think about the way townships have been designed, which many of these towns are hundreds of years old, they were really designed around, first it was horse and buggies, and then they were designed about getting vehicles around these roads as quickly and as efficiently as possible. But they haven't really put a lot of thought until more recently into pedestrians on foot and bike. So we're just trying to make a change within the communities. This is a huge movement that's sweeping across the country. We have a pretty decent amount of bike-friendly places in New York State, but there's still some room for some more further improvements here. But we're getting there, guys, just so you all know. So how can we help? So we partner with the community, the representatives, everybody, really. We want everybody's opinions, but we will try to assess current and proposed policies, which I don't believe Wolcott has one that I'm aware of. When I looked, I didn't see a complete streets or safe routes policy in place. I might be wrong on that. So you might be wondering, so what are complete streets? And this is a little video. It's just a 2-minute video that's going to give you an idea.
What are complete streets? This is Community Planning 101. Complete streets are streets designed to be safe, comfortable, and efficient for pedestrians, cyclists, transit riders, and motorists. And they're designed to be connected to the places people live, work, learn, and play. Design features of complete streets may include sidewalks, multi-use trails, bike or bus lanes, accessible transit stops, median islands, and many others. And each of these helps one or more transportation method function better without making the others less efficient or uncomfortable. It's not about balancing the use of cars against all other transportation, or just adding lanes for bikes, buses, and pedestrians. It's about travel being more accessible, providing travel options for communities, making them better and healthier places to live. Also, the improved social interaction of complete streets is good for businesses and property values. Even where destinations are close to home, incomplete streets often make them inaccessible by foot, bike, or transit. For example, schools without sidewalks to residential areas make walking less safe for students, and cul-de-sacs create dead ends, cutting places off from people's homes. Routes along high-speed roads without bike lanes, sidewalks, or comfortable transit stops feel unsafe and are used less. Multi-lane roads without adequate crossings act as barriers, limiting access to retail areas and services. By designing complete streets, these negative impacts can be avoided or reversed. Complete streets are also not just city or suburban approaches. They can work in rural areas too, but the design solutions will look different. For example, roads in rural areas may be made complete by providing wide shoulders for cycling and walking, with connections to trails and transit stops. In a village center, a complete street strategy could include marked crossings, sidewalks, curb extensions, and street trees, all designed specifically to fit the character of the small town. So now you know the basics of what complete streets are, their benefits, and the kinds of ways they can be designed. I'm Robert Voigt, and this has been Community Planning 101, brought to you by the Ontario Professional Planners Institute.
Okay. Well, that's a little video about it. So some of you might be thinking, why would we want to make a policy? That just sounds like a lot more work, right? It's all about thinking about the future of your township. Where are you going? What's your vision for your town? And how are you going to keep people living here and wanting to grow their families here? And as well as making it comfortable for people who are aging here. Is it safe for them as well? Just a lot of things to think about. And what we're seeing is a lot of the small towns are just having lower and lower populations because people are leaving the small towns and going to more convenient places to live. So we're trying to stop that. We want the townships to thrive and grow and be healthy communities for everybody. Because every community matters, no matter how small you are. And these are the only townships we can work in. So it's Palmyra, Sodas, Arcadia North, Lyons, Rose, Galen, Clyde, Savannah, Butler, and Wolcott. So this is a pretty small area for us, but that's what makes it even better because we get to focus more on the townships when it's only so many. So, so the communities who look at adopting complete streets and safe routes policies have more success with getting other grants from other kinds of sources. So if they see that your township is is thriving to go in the right direction, where we're trying to get communities to stay sustainable for long periods of time, they look at that when you're filling out for grants for other things. And it really tends to say, oh wow, this town they're heading down the right road, they're looking at the long-term vision, they're trying to make their community healthier, and it just tends to make your community look better when you're applying for other grants. And having more visitors stop in your town, it increases the local prosperity for the businesses. So what I want you to think about is if you weren't from this town and you came through this township, would there be enough things to get you to want to stop and get out of your vehicle and spend some time in this community? And those are like, drawing in tourists is a way to get some extra funds in your community and help everything thrive better. So with improved policies and practices, the values of your homes go up. When you're working on fixing your sidewalks and you're making everything safer, the property values go up. And things just tend to thrive a little bit better that way. So what we do, if you guys choose to work with us, we will do walking audits. We use AART walking audits. And we just look at some of the things that we could possibly do that could just make your township, what we can do to improve it together. So another aspect of trying to keep your long-term goals is to create a vision or steering committee. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but this is pretty much something that we try to put in place before our relationship ends, when we're all done working together, so that you guys have a long-term focus as to, you want to keep going on the goals that you already put work and effort into. So that's why we'll help you start when it goes up. So this is an example of a before and after picture for complete streets in a township. So you guys identify your goals after we do an audit. We do a walking audit through the community, and we'll identify goals together. I'm not here to boss you around. We're here to work together as a partner, and we will help you guys not pay for it. We have a reimbursement grant. So when we find things that we can do together, we'll create an MOU with each other, which is a memorandum of understanding, and then we will assist with helping you guys with the changes that you guys are wanting to implement. So these are some examples of what, this is a little bit of a closer picture as to what complete streets could look like in your community. So all these things here, which I see on your main street, you already have flower pots and benches and stuff. That's all called visual friction, and it tends to help people subconsciously slow down as they're driving through your town. You may not realize it, but it does. It helps. It's just called visual friction. That's just the term they call it. So these are some of the implementation items that our grant can reimburse. So bolted down bus shelters. We can do sidewalk replacements in smaller amounts, nothing like humongous, but we can do small amounts of sidewalk replacements, bike fix-it stations and racks throughout your community in places where it would make sense. Crosswalk paint if you need something like that. Crosswalk signs, speed limit signs. We also can help with cut waste station, which if I see you guys do have some trash cans in your parks, but if somebody's with their dog and they don't happen to have a bag, they may not.
They have no problem putting them in the regular trash cans.
I'm just saying, but those are things that our grant can reimburse for, because it is encouraging for other people to want to walk their pets around when it's more convenient. So these are things that increase the walkability and the bikeability of communities. So even trail markers and stuff like that help people be aware of what your town has in it to stop by. So everyone deserves to live in a neighborhood that's safe and comfortable. No matter if you're young or old, everybody deserves that. And I just want to know, do you guys have a plan for the future of your community in a long term? Thank you. So this is the last slide I have. This is actually what they call a traffic garden. And a lot of communities and schools have combined, other CHIS grantees have combined their resources with us to create these bicycle gardens. So they take like old tennis courts or old parking lots, and they can repurpose them as a bike garden to teach children road safety skills and bike riding skills to get them prepared for the everyday real world out there. So this is just something that some of the CHIS grantees have done. And that's the end of my slide. Anybody want to talk? Anybody got questions for me?
Oh, come on, Pete. I don't know how you contain yourself for so long.
I like our sidewalks fixed. And how would you, so I don't know where the money comes from and that we have to repay it back, and actually what you would actually do for us. Because I moved here recently.
It's a big section.
It's a big,
Well, we
it's a big
can't
ordeal.
do all of it. But
What does that mean when you say all of it? Like
So-
99% of it?
So we have a certain budget, and we have five. Actually, we work with 5 different strategies, and the municipalities is one of them. We also work in schools. We work in early child care education settings, and we also work with food service guidelines in the community and in work sites. So we have to take this money and we split it up between different things. And when we start partnering with the township, it really is based upon the budget, which we did just do an amazing project with Lions. We redid sidewalks on William Street on both sides of the road because it was near the school. So it was considered safe routes to school because it improved the route that was for the children to get to school on. It was very dangerous for them to go down the sidewalk. So this is something we just got done doing last month. But yeah, so there'd be a certain budget. So you get an estimate as to what it would be, and then we could say, okay, well, this is how much we could assist with as a refund, because we are a refundable grant program that has to be paid for first, and we cannot pay for labor at all in our grant. So no labor expenses will not be included in that. But like as far as materials go, we would work a partnership. We would work an agreement.
I think our village has a plan already,
Yeah.
but, so how would yours help ours? I mean, you know.
Well,
I mean.
are you willing to do a complete streets policy? Because that's part of it.
Depends on how much money you
So-
talk.
Well, hey, this is a 5-year grant program, and every year we get a new allotment of money. Starting June 1st of every year, we get a new allotment of money. And sometimes, so we try to continue on our partnerships, like we'll keep working with you guys. So if we write an MOU up and we're partnering with you, we'll continue to work with you. But even after we have funds for 1 year, doesn't necessarily mean there won't be funds for another year. If you guys are really willing to put effort into making the good changes in your community, this is stuff that like me and my boss can figure all this stuff out. But I'm not allowed to throw out numbers, so I'm just letting you know right now. I
Yeah,
can't.
it's just kind of hard to agree to something that we have no. I mean, you could just say, we could say, we got a $10,000 thing here, and you guys will say, well, we need just $40 for it.
No.
But you guys know at least some kind of a percentage or how that
I
would
can't
work.
give out numbers, but it's not like that.
So the first thing we would have to do is come up with the street.
We can look at some other policies like that Lions and Palmyra have in place. We can sit down and review so they're really I was surprised. I expected this policy to be like a whole stack of books. It was only like 3 or 4 pages long, and it's just about any future builds, like making sure that sidewalks all have ADA compliance when you build a new build, right? Or that they're a certain width, for safety and whatnot. And that I wish I knew a little bit more of what other things are in there. I guess I just can't think right now. Maybe I'm a little nervous, but
So if the village was to, say, put in a new playground or something at the park for the kids, could you help get some safety flooring or something to go underneath that playground?
no. Playgrounds we can work with schools, but not with municipalities.
How about the bikes and the pet things and the benches?
So I was thinking about this too. My boss told me not to say this.
She's not here.
She's not here. No, I did some walking around your community, and here's what I found. Your public library doesn't have a bike rack. Your Central Park didn't have a bike rack. The Waterfall Park over there had a small bike rack that held 2 bikes. As far as I know, I didn't see any bike fixing stations, and I didn't see any pet waste disposal stations. Those are all things that our grant can reimburse. They're all reimbursable, but we have to agree on amounts up front. We wouldn't throw you guys under the bus like that. But there's an agreement that gets put in place before you guys spend anything.
Are you in the first year of the 5 years?
No, we actually got a late start. Another township was granted this first, and then they were not doing things right, and they lost it. So then our English Community Action Program took over it last year, and we just really got rolling along with it towards the middle of last year. So it's been roughly about a year at this point. We've worked with a couple schools already. We've done some really fantastic, amazing things with 2 schools. We've worked with Red Creek and Lions. We've worked with municipalities that would be Lions so far. We're trying to get 1 a year, so we don't have to spread our money too thin. So if you guys want to be my 1 for this year, you guys can be my 1 for this year. It just started on June 1st, and I'm still looking for a partner.
Would you guys do a street audit and make suggestions, or how would that work?
We would do a walking audit, yes. And it would be welcome to be open to, we can help facilitate pop-up events. So if you wanted to get your community involved, we can just put on a thing and have everybody come and talk about what their concerns are, or however you want to do it. Because it's really you're taking control of the ship here. I'm just helping in the background. So you look so nervous. Yeah, he looks scared of me. Like, oh no, she's full of money.
I think
So
I think the best thing is that if you can get us the information that we need for the partnership side of it and what you request,
Okay.
and then the board can absorb that from there. and they want to, they can make a motion to partner with you
Okay.
and go from there.
That's fair enough. I do have a list of approvable and non-approvable expenses. If anybody would like to take a quick review of it, you're welcome to look at this real quick. If anybody wants to look at it.
I will.
Okay, so this is our approved, and this side here is our not approved. Or right here, I'm sorry, this is the section. So if you guys ever look up creating healthy schools and community, it's actually public. It's a New York State Department of Health grant. You guys can look it up and research this. It's available right online. It's got like some hidden thing that nobody knows about. So does anybody else have any questions or like about how the process works or anything for me?
How come Huron was excluded?
Huron was excluded because they didn't reach the certain criteria as far as health disparities. The funds in the community. I'm not exactly sure, but they were excluded. It broke our heart because I'm like, it really makes our map uneven. So when we try to tell people where we are, it's hard for some people to understand because it just cuts it out right in the middle. It's like doesn't make a lot of sense. But
So basically, we put the concrete down and you pay for it. The concrete, not the putting the
Part of it. Yeah, not the labor.
You only pay for the concrete.
yeah,
We
we
do the labor.
the labor, yes, but we did assist with paying for the rocks that go under the concrete. You know that, and then stuff like that.
You pay for the demo?
Actually, when we partnered with our other township, they actually covered the demo because they had their own equipment, which helped keep the cost down. So anywhere we can save is a good thing. That means more money for other things. So.
What was the name of the policy again?
Complete Streets,
Safe Street.
Or-
I was trying to look up lines.
it's called Complete Streets or Safe
I'm
Routes.
sorry.
You get,
Lions has a Complete Streets policy.
you get your money from the county? Is it?
No, New York State Department of Health.
Oh, sure.
We're a New York State grant. So I do have a couple brochures if anybody would like one, and I've also got my business card. Is there anybody interested in this? You can keep them. I don't need them back. Okay, got it. There you go. Thank you. I'll take one of your brochures. You guys want to help with?
Yeah, I'll take
them.
Can I just make a copy of this for everybody who wants to look at it? It has family.
Yes. Okay, I'm just kidding. Thanks.
she's gonna make it.
Right.
She's gonna make it out.
I know in some people's minds it sounds too good to be true, but it really isn't. Because when I first walked into this grant last year, I was like, they really do all these amazing things. They really do. But that's what we're here for. We're here to make these townships better. Even these little small communities like Wolcott and Clyde. I mean, we're here for them. That's what we are working for you guys. I mean, that's why we're here. So, yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned, there are other grants available. Once we open
No.
this door,
I mean, when you apply for other grants.
would you help in that? Do you have any grant writers
No.
that can assist?
No.
Okay.
No, but I do know that a lot of townships continuously look for new grants, and they do get grant writers to write grants for their townships to try to continuously improve them and improve them. And that's what I'm saying is if you have something like this to highlight that you're working towards a goal, you're really working towards trying to make positive changes in your community, it really like puts a big highlight on your paper, and you look so much better to the state. Like, hey, they're trying to change, and they're trying to follow the, so. Bicycle riding has turned into like, just biking alone has turned into like a $93 billion a year budget just in the United States alone. And it's taken off. A lot of people are just relying more on their own transportation instead of vehicles, and it's just, and with the health disparities that we're dealing with the obesity and everything, it's just, we're trying to just encourage communities. We want to make them a healthier place for people to live, and a healthier place for people to thrive, and an easier place for people to practice healthy behaviors. So that's what we're doing. Anybody else?
Thank you very much.
You are so welcome, guys. Let me get all my stuff on. I want to continue on.
It didn't improve a couple years ago.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're so welcome.
You did a fine job.
Yeah, you did a good job. Don't
Did
be
I?
nervous. You're
Yes, you're awesome.
Thanks, guys.
I think anybody
This
that
is only
stops
my
in and wants to
second
give us money should get a.
I would be willing to give us money.
I just have a lot of passion for what I do. Because I honestly love what I'm doing. This is the most rewarding job I've ever had. And I'm just truly happy to be here. So good. So I walk around with a smile all day because I'm so happy.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I left my old job after 7 years. Never looked back. Thank you. Speed bumps. Oh, there's of course.
I'll claim the first one.
Speed bumps? I don't know about speed bumps.
Well,
We
we're already
do
going
help
that,
with,
we're already going in that direction. That's one of the things.
yeah, I heard you guys were looking at a dog park somewhere. Where were you guys looking at the dog?
Oh, those portable speed bumps.
Up near the school.
Under the school?
Here's extra back here if anybody wants copies, then give them to, okay?
Dr. Mosquito organic fertilizer.
It'll grow. Maybe we could use a couple more radar signs.
We can. We cannot do what they call capital improvement minus the little of sidewalk here and there. So like if you want like solar power light, or if you want lights like to light up a walkway, it has to be solar powered. Or like if you want a bus shelter, it has to be a bolted down bus one that's removable if needed. Things like that. So
Okay, moving on, we have Donna Graham and Eva Banis on the dog park.
So we
You changing the subject? Are you part of the dog park? I'm just part of the dog park? Well, that was my question, because you're listening to the dog park now that you had mentioned. We'll let you know. We'll let you know.
yeah, I think so.
I have mine as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Was it in the file?
Okay, so Donna is here to talk about the dog park. As many of you know that, what's that?
A little bit.
That we had proposed a dog park up by the water tower. Been talked about multiple times. I'll give you a little history of what's gone on. So everybody is always entitled to their opinion or their concerns down along the line. And I had a phone call come in about the piece of equipment that I had been working on to get here to clear that for the dog park. So I ran up there with one of my pieces of equipment to point it out because they were going to be here the following week. I was up there, and then I had received a phone call and talked to Donna of additional concerns post our previous conversation. And now what we have here is we have you oppose a dog park being built at Dr. Chan Garden. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 opposing it. So, floor is yours, Donna.
And there were some that did not answer the door when I went, and those are the ones that are closest to it. I am about 260 feet, I would be from it. But Mike on the corner is about 212 feet from it, who signed that. And so there's just a lot of concerns from people. a lot of concerns, including myself. And so back during the whole dissolution thing, and because some of the opponents kept talking about lack of transparency, and I kind of feel as though this was lack of transparency, because the people that I talked to, one of them that signed it had heard about a possibility of it, and the other ones were basically clueless. They had no idea whatsoever that something like that was going to be built, you know, that close. And
Even though we had talked about it for over a year. I can't help that they don't come out of their closets and participate.
I understand. I understand that, but still, it's a fact that you have to look at. And so I was a little, and there wasn't, I went back through minutes, what I could find, like online, and it only goes back, well, for 23, it starts in September of 23, then forward, and there was nothing in it, in the minutes about it. There was one mention, I think, about a month ago or something, I remember when I was here. But prior to that, now I don't know in the other 23 minutes, you know, if there was anything stated. Was anything ever voted on, you know, in regard to it? Was anything ever discussed in, like, having a public hearing, because it is so close to residential houses? And another thing, we all want property values to go up. We do not want them to go down, because, you know, you lose taxable revenue for the village. So, and I feel as though that our property values would decrease, you know, if it was built that close to residential properties. And so there's, what's my other notes? I can't even read my own writing. But there was no discussion with any of the people that would be impacted the most. And I think that's one of my big concerns. And plus there are millions of mosquitoes up there, millions. And now with her just having done her presentation, and in the deed from Dr. Chan to the village, that's what he wanted it to be, was green space. And what an opportunity to even just take and maybe build some trails, have some benches. And I didn't think of another place today where you could do a dog park, possibly. Would be up on the west side of the old Florentine Hendrick School, in that field, in the village portion. And that would be far away from any residences. The only resident that would be there would be Hutchbauer's wife on the south side of Langton Road. And that property, maybe you could lease it from Mike. I'm assuming Mike owns it. I don't know if, you know, anybody knows. So, but I overall, I just don't think it would be a good idea.
Okay, but just let's clarify the one thing we talked about. You were the very first person I called originally and asked.
Yes, I was the very first person that Chris called and asked me about it.
Because I'm just saying, because when you were just talking here, you said nobody was contacted.
Right, well, I was,
I
right,
did contact
yes.
you because it was right in your backyard.
Right, because it was right in my backyard. And I don't know if I said I'll think about it, or maybe it would be okay. I don't know. I don't remember what my exact words were. But the more I thought about it, and then I didn't even think that it was coming like this fast. And like, here it is, you know? It's like, wait a minute, do I? No, I don't. In all sincerity, no. But like I also said to Chris, I'm not the only person that lives up there. There's a whole lot of other people. And to me, it would be only fair to be transparent and include them too.
So can I mention on that being in the minutes, I know that between September and December they were, because we had to assign ARPA funds before the end of December to be used before the end of 2027.
I went through them and
Yeah, mine for you. to. And it was just a discussion, it's just, okay, we're gonna talk about this and this is what we're talking about putting towards.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll get you a copy.
And, because, and like I said, I couldn't go back and find anything prior to.
No, it was before that. Not before that, but then we had to sign the ARPA fund for December.
Of this year,
2023.
oh, 2023,
So I'll find out, I'll give it to you.
so. All right.
Yeah.
Where's Dean?
The signature you have here, Donna, are you
Yes.
speaking on their behalf? Just curious, because I don't see anyone here.
What do you mean, am I speaking on their behalf?
All the signatures of opposed.
I guess I could say I am.
Okay, I'm just trying to clarify it all.
No, because I just went to them and said to them, you know, did you know there's a dog park on Beville up here, that machine guard? And, and Mike was also a little aware of it. He was a little aware of it.
Oh,
But
he was standing there with Dave when I had the machine in there.
Right, that's what he said, right,
He uses it for
but he
his
doesn't
dogs.
want it.
Yeah, but he uses it for his dogs.
Right. Well, and what one of the people said that they did not, one of the many reasons they did not want it was, because they said already enough dogs already walk by his house without picking up the dog poop. So why, encourage more dogs to be coming up the street?
I remember, Donna, when Chris set me up to check the boundaries, and I checked your backyard.
That's
your
right.
boundary.
Yes.
You were all for it.
And, well, I wasn't all for it. You wanted to know where the boundaries were, and I said to you, here they are.
I did
First was
ask you
right there.
how you felt about it being in your backyard.
And-
You said you had no problem. I remember that.
And,
Because I
well,
wondered about that.
yeah, because, well, also we're only there 6 months, so, too. And, who's gonna shovel the snow in the winter? Who's going to make sure that the dogs are licensed and not necessarily licensed, but have their rabies vaccines?
I don't have a dog, so I don't need it.
I mean, if it were to go forward, yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Well, the board has some things to discuss about it, but thank you, Donna.
you're welcome, Chris.
Good job.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, Mr. Crane. There's some trees to cut, huh?
That's Nick.
Well, no, we held off on the one. But did we get the one taken care of on Draper and West Main at Stevens's?
Yeah.
I see it's trimmed and it's still standing, so I figured maybe that got.
Have you heard anything?
I have not. But I noticed it was all trimmed. So,
No news is good news.
so
I told Nick to treat the trees and he didn't.
treat the trees.
I accidentally might have dumped something in Main Street Park.
Possibly. So we got Falls, Williams.
The one that's there is done.
I'm coming back to you, by the way, Eva.
Oh, it's okay. I can go with Sarah.
Now,
When do you think you'll have them all done? Give me an estimate.
usually, give me a month.
2 months? We know how this works.
There is one other, well, then you gotta wait 6 months for your bill.
Well, we're used to that. As long as it's in before the next budget starts.
Okay.
All right?
When these guys aren't busy, I talked to them, they are willing to do a little of the raking, which would take off of that cost.
Okay. We've talked about that before, Nate. You're
Because
good with that, right, Chris? Okay.
I've been raking up so many of those chips from ash trees.
Make a motion to approve Cream's tree service estimate of $6,200.
That's 15 trees, grind 15 and trim 2. Any further discussion, all in favor?
Who seconded it?
Marshall.
You did? Thank you.
All right, Eva.
The event committee would like to do 2 events, one on August 24th, picking and picnicking in the park. So we're going to use, what is it, North Oak Park. What was the date? August 24th.
Picking and picnicking?
Yeah, it was a really cute idea.
That happened at Strawberry Fest. I thought it was really great. Yeah, it is a really cute idea.
I don't know, I didn't see you there last night, Tony.
No, we talked about Strawberry Fest.
But we talked about it last night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sticks. You gotta trim all your stuff on the 24th.
With a possible chicken barbecue at that one.
The picnic one, which we need to talk to Ryan about, and see if they have interest in it.
I'm sorry, what's
Don't want to put you on the spot, but that was part of the conversation that maybe the fire department might be interested in it, and that's if Ryan would be there tonight, that's the best time to talk.
I'm sorry, I was going to get my calendar and make sure we have something open. What was the second thing you said?
Autumn Fall Fest on September 14th. Yeah,
August 24th.
yes, that's the picking and the picnic. And September 14th.
Just so you know, September 14th and 15th of also Parent Days over in Colorado.
On a 5K also with September 14th, which will be put on my map over here.
What's the interest look like for the 2 events as far as how many chickens we need to cook or something like that if the department chooses to?
That's a Chris
Oh, you asking me?
Yeah, well, he's looking at me, but I'm looking at you.
So, I would say nowhere near the number that you did for the Strawberry Festival. Half of that, or 150 or something like that.
Okay.
Side of it. The fall one, if you got some pretty decent weather and whatever they, I think you'd probably kind of gauge that to how many vendors they're able to get. See how much it grows, because obviously you can add to that number right
Sure.
up to the day you have it. But depending on how they decide to do with vendors and all that.
Okay.
I think that would depict the amount of heads you want to do with that.
We have a business meeting Thursday night, and I'll bring it up then.
Oh,
Fire police for the 5Ks, were you able to get any of them?
What's the date on that?
That'll be on the 14th.
September 14th.
Same thing for PD. Yeah, he said, okay. Hi, Kevin.
No, I'm worried. I'll get fire police together for it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That's all I got.
Painless.
So we need a form, they need
Yep.
form ready.
Yeah,
If
we'll get
it's
the forms
online, I
ready.
give it to you or whatever.
Oh, okay, I'll do it online.
Good. Is that it? Oh, when's your next meeting?
22nd, 6 p.m.
Of July.
FYI. Oh, no, it'll be done by then. Yeah, you will. Okay, Ryan, you're up.
We did not get a report this month from the county. The director of operations had a death in the family. So for this month, we had 21, or for this past month, we had 21 calls. I broke it down 2 ways. I think the village board should know the activity of all the chiefs in the department due to us being approved by the board. So starting from the bottom, Chief Ferber made 0, Middleton made 5, Gillett made 4, Lasher made 2, and I made 20. Call types for last month, we had 1 house fire, we had 1 vehicle fire, 1 MVA, 3 fire alarms, 6 hazardous conditions, 8 EMS assists, and 1 chief's investigation. Hours for last month, we spent 265 hours on fire calls, 103 hours for training and 76 hours for meetings. The department discussed the old engine 32. The only wishes of the department was to keep the tires that are currently on it, we could swap them out with the old tires that were on it, that we still have. I have reached out to Fenton Fire Sales. They're going to get an appraisal together. I haven't gotten a hard copy appraisal, but over the phone it was $15,000 is what they were looking at with the pictures that I sent them. What's that?
Told you.
Yep. They would sell it for us. I mean, they would keep whatever it is, 3%, under 150,000. That goes up from there. If that was a route we wanted to take, like I said, the only wish of the department was the tires, and I believe the air compressors has been taken off.
Did the tires get swapped out as talked about, or that hasn't happened yet?
That has not happened yet.
Okay.
I make a motion to declare the old E32 surplus, put it up for sale after you guys, the department makes the changes they wish to make.
Okay.
All in favor?
The new engine 32, it's in service. It's been on a few runs last month. Everything's working well. No issues. We had one new member join last month, and I would like to set up a meeting with the mayor and Danny to go over some budget stuff sometime in the near future.
Okay. I want to thank you, Ryan, for the operation cool down there. That was a success. So thanks for getting guys around there to cool them down in the park.
No worries at all.
And we can get a meeting scheduled with you for that too.
Okay.
Anything else, Ryan?
That's all I have.
Kevin? Anything for the group?
I don't have anything too major to report. We've been experiencing relatively calm. I want Jinx it because that pendulum can swing either way. A lot of nuisance complaints, quality of life issues, which that's exactly what we're here for as far as I'm concerned. Squashing a lot of problems before they get any bigger. We get a lot of walk-ups, questions, and stuff like that. Other than that, we got a new air conditioner thanks to the girls in the office that tracked down one. Thanks for Tony for doing that. We do have to get it installed to the wall. I've been trying to get a hold of Don Harvard, but we don't have a good phone number for him. I don't know if anybody does.
I got it.
Perfect. The one I had was right to the voicemail. It's not set up. So
I do.
We gotta get that installed correctly.
I'm sure you do. Probably the same one that I have.
Probably the same one.
Other than that, I've been trying to work with code enforcement and ECO, the animal control officer, trying to get a handle on some of this stuff going on around the village. And it's not major. It's just a small things that gotta be taken care of. Some big old problems.
Okay. Thanks, Kevin.
Yep.
Mr. Green.
All right. We got the speed signs up.
I see that.
Got a quote here from Champion for restriping.
Mm-hmm.
You guys probably have that.
I believe I do.
4154.
Do we have the paint yet?
Yes.
I didn't have it, I did you guys.
4154.
Yes.
Champion.
You're gonna be doing crosswalks too?
Crosswalks, all of it. Champion does the crosswalks and the not sidewalks, parking spaces.
Mm-hmm.
The county does center line striping.
Okay. The crosswalks make them more visible. If we did that type of striping, is that extra or possible? Or?
I can ask him. I'll call him tomorrow and ask him.
I think definitely, especially down on Main Street. Yeah, find out.
All of the catch basins on this side of the pond are
That's that.
cleaned out. I'll do it after that.
Just in time to get a little rain.
It's gonna be a fun blow, I think. 3 inches of rain.
Yeah. Enjoy.
We're both big enough to go downstairs.
Let's approve the 4154 for champions so we get on the schedule, and then Chris can find out about the alternative.
Make a motion to approve the champion paying quote $4,154.
Second.
Any further discussion on favor?
And I got a quote from Jeff Ward for a little bit of ditching on Terrell Street and Sunset. It's $350 for Terrell and, excuse me, $350 for Sunset, $450 for Terrell, total $800.
What else on Terrell? We just did that a couple years ago.
The last house on the north, last 2 houses on the north side, it's all overgrown trees. It's due.
It's like east end right before the close.
Make a motion to approve the quotes for ditching Jeff Ward for Sunset and Terrell for $800.
Second that.
Discussion on favor? Anything else, Chris?
That's all I got for now.
Ed?
Pumping water like crazy. Trying to get the lead service line inventory completed. It's due before October. So if all goes well and the rehab of the water plant takes place, I would have to suspect that the volume of water that we are pumping now can be done in about 50 to 60% of the time that we're investing. It's just about keeping people out of the confined space and the volume of water that we have coming in from the lake on gravity feed versus suction. So if we were to switch over to the pots, go down in the hole in the confined space, more labor, and deal with that headache. But if the engineering firm was to figure out a way to eliminate that and still get the water in through a suction line versus open atmosphere, we could probably seriously cut back on the amount of labor that we're putting into it right now. So hopefully,
That was the whole reasoning.
hopefully CPL comes together with everything and puts this together.
Yeah, this whole thing was based off updated efficiencies.
Yep. We just recently had a social media complaint, so if they're listening, just want to address that and let you know we're still working on it.
Fair enough. Anything else?
No, sir. Something for executive.
Okay. Account number 64200, Wade late fee request.
Can't see. They're the ones, they moved and their mail kept getting forwarded back and forth, so they weren't getting their bills, so they just asked if they could waive the late fees. They paid the bill, they just want to know if we can credit the late fees.
Did you provide the documents, Tony?
I didn't put it on the agenda, I just remember they called a few times. I don't remember putting it on the agenda.
It's on there, I didn't put on it, because I don't have the account number.
Yeah, it says account number 6420. 0, waive late fees. I don't know who they are, or the address, or any history on them.
I can get some information sent to you in the morning.
We'll table.
Sure.
Was it online?
Should be Susan Kane.
From June 12th? (8241) Eastport Bay Road.
It could be if it's Susan Kane.
Yes.
That's who it is. Yes.
And how many times did this happen? Or what is the? What's the
She
dollar
missed 2
amount?
quarters.
$21.
Make a motion to waive $21 in penalties to account number 64200.
For a total of $21, correct?
Correct.
In penalties. Need a second for that?
Second.
Any further discussion on favor? June 2024 monthly report.
Don't think. Way you like it.
Next people want to do it anyway.
Thanks. Make a motion to approve the fiscal year end 5/31/24 for the annual report.
Second.
Any further discussion on favor? Mass Mutual Life Insurance update.
So I just need to let everybody know, I know when the gentleman came before, there's some people who were interested in it, other employees got information on it, but if anybody else wants information, I have booklets, stuff like that, that's so, if anybody wants any information.
Thank you very much.
Make a motion to prepay invoice number 268512 to Wolcott, Holstein, in the amount of $3,360.
I sent that.
Any further discussion on favor?
Aye. The tax collection is just an FYI, so you guys know where we are. When we start collecting our taxes.
pretty fair, Fran. Honestly.
I'm sorry?
That's a pretty fair number already.
Yeah, it's only 97 outstanding from 702.
Need a motion for past meeting minutes, June 11th, 2024, department?
There needs to be an amendment on that first though. So at the last meeting, I did not give anybody any court audits to do, and it references that court audits for Kathy and Dave were approved. So I just need to put an amendment that you guys have given a notice that the annual had been done. And I can make that amendment in this meeting.
Abstract number 2, $83,439.61.
Just me and approve the June 11th meeting.
Well, you can do a post amendment, or you can wait till the next one when it's amended.
Well, I have to do the amendment in
You
these,
can-
minutes though.
You can approve the amendment.
Make a motion to approve abstract number 002, the amount of $83,439.61.
Second.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
You want to approve that with the pending amendment then?
I can't, I was,
You're not here.
somebody else has to. I think, or Bob.
Okay, so we need a motion for the June 11th department head meeting with notation that there is an amendment to follow the next meeting.
I make a motion to approve June 11th department head meeting, subject to amendment.
Second.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-15.
Second.
Who seconded it, Dave did?
Yes. Any further discussion, all in favor?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-17.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-18.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-19.
Second that.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-20.
Second that.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
There's a motion to approve facilities use request for the Wolcott Falls Park on August 24th, 2:30 to 6:30 for the wedding.
There's nothing else going on that day, right?
No, I checked on it again today.
Okay.
That's what I had to check for you.
Okay.
Because,
That's their, picking in the park here.
in the
but-
park's up
but
here,
there's
yeah,
on
and
Paul's
it's down
Park.
at Paul's Park.
I did talk to them, Fran, as well, and if they were to talk to you if they need access to the restaurant. Okay. So any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve Northrop Park Christmas lighting contest 12/14 from 1 to 5.
I second that.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Hometown Heroes, thank you from the Bauer family. Village of Wolcott, we would like to thank you and the work crew for getting David Hutchbauer's veteran. I think that's plaque, I believe.
Better flag.
Banner.
Yeah, and it doesn't say banner. Plaque up by the by Memorial Day and on the street where we said we would like it. New Hartford Street. Nice job done, Mary Lou Bauer and family. Very nice, thank you very much. Oh, Nimer building visits. Oh, that's always good. Did they give us dates, Fran?
So the dates are Thursday, July 18th.
Oh boy.
So I recommended Tommy, but I'm not sure what you guys think.
What's that?
I recommended Tommy being like their escort. I wasn't sure what you guys thought.
Actually, I think you did it last time. We'll check with them and we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Okay.
Right. So progress-wise, we have it's a slow process, but we've been working with CPL on the grant. Fran's been working on some documentation that we have to have for funding that rolls up to the engineering startup of the project. That's all been going on behind the scenes. Other than that, like I said, just had a festival committee meeting. I attended that. They have that planned out again. You know, anybody and everybody that was involved in the Strawberry Festival, absolute fantastic job. I haven't heard one bad thing about the festival. Just couldn't have gone any better. Couldn't have got any better weather. Thanks for the fire department doing your part, Ryan, and
Of course.
Kevin being on and keeping everybody safe and around. So, I'd say you knocked this one out of the park, and that everybody was involved with for sure. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have until executive. So, Misty, what do you have for her?
Just that the playground is halfway done. And that when the playground gets the other half, he will contact us about delivery. It's around the 22nd.
Are they putting that together, or are we putting it?
No, there's some on it.
Yeah, they're gonna
They
assemble.
pre-build it, bring it here, and put the puzzle together.
What are you putting under that?
That was my next question.
You guys asked this the last time. Yes, we did. What's under the current one?
You should put something underneath it.
I see over Marshall Park, they got some kind of, looked like chipped wood or something, not sure what it is. I was gonna ask, everybody to do it yet. It seemed to be okay to, well, I don't walk on it without my shoes on, but it's.
Why not?
I don't wanna take them
You
off.
really want to get the feel for it.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to give them a holler and see what they have for a supporting base, that's fine.
And they have a rubber barrier, to keep all the stuff in.
Good luck with that.
What do they call them, like you put around your landscape, that rubber stuff?
Edging.
Edging, there you go. That's it. I
I'm
can't check
making it up every week.
I can check with John.
Tim's a little back in with the mower.
They recommend something, or after, no, they put it up first, right?
Yes.
See what you're using for that product if you want, pricing wise and whatnot. But the last time that we did, I believe I mentioned this the last time, that we had Nimer around for that. It was a suggestion for it around the one we currently had, however, not required. So just keep in mind. Anything else, Missy?
No. I'm all set.
Marshall?
Oh, I was wondering, we surplus the fire truck who is this people you have selling it for you? Can we do that? Is it gotta be a public sale, or how does that work?
Well, you need the surplus. Is that where you want to go through, Ryan, is Fenton?
I was gonna wait to get the finalized estimate back from them. I went down to the sewer plant, I took a bunch of pictures of it, sent it to them. They're gonna give me a finalized estimate back. And then if we choose to go through with them, we can list it through them. If we choose to go through Auctions International, we can go through Auctions International. I mean,
Can we do that? So I mean, do we have to put it up for public bid, or I'm not sure.
Well, let's get the quote back from them first. Let's see.
Okay,
We'll go from there.
that's all I got. Just wondering what the process was.
Well, surplus now, stuff can be sold anyway.
Okay, I thought we had to have a public bid or something.
Auctions International, it's open to everybody.
It is, but I don't know the company that the Fenton company.
yeah, Fenton Fire, it's just a website anybody can go on.
Oh, do they? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They're like a third party vendor for us. They would take all the pictures and all the information that we send them. They would list it, and try to buy it, try to find a buyer for us. And then obviously at the end of it, they would take a cut, 3% or whatever their cut is off the selling price.
Auctions International don't charge anything, but if you got more money for it, that would be better.
So,
I didn't know it was a public company. I never heard of it before.
and they sell used fire trucks, ambulances, chief's vehicles.
Might be the way to go.
Yeah.
Could very well be. We'll see.
Yeah.
Daniel,
Nothing at this time.
Dave?
I don't have a lot. Banner project seems to still be moving along. Got any extras?
Everything we've received so far is hanging.
He's got more being done, and then we still got people getting applications every day also.
Right.
How many total do we have?
Pardon me?
How many total banners have we got to date?
That I do not know.
In the 40s.
Yeah,
I counted
it is.
45 on July 4th.
Yeah.
You said 32 last month.
Nice job putting that on Facebook. All
You had a
those,
woman that asked about I was going to ask him when I got to it, but there was a woman that inquired about someone that was sponsored. I don't know if she actually reached out, so I wanted to follow up with you guys, see if she did.
They wanted to sponsor?
Yeah. Her name was Serena Burke.
No, reach out to me.
So I'll reach out to her then, see if we can get it done.
It just took a new call, Dave.
we have sponsors. We just
Yeah, that's
need,
what I told her, but
we need applications. So
And I need to get my calendar back that I,
did they
One
send
joke.
that back with the banner or calendar? Or they go?
I didn't know that it had been sent in.
Well, I gave that to them. I took it over to the graphic service.
Then he did say there's pictures that still got to be sent back. So I'm guessing that's part of the ones that need to be sent back.
Yeah. When I gave it to them, I asked them to make sure that they gave that back to me.
And they're
So,
very good. They'll mail it back to whoever mailed it to them.
Okay.
So if they mailed it, if you gave it to them, the prime.
well, I'll be at Williamson tomorrow. I can check and see
Thank
if they
you.
have. You know.
If you do stop and see him, he did say he'd have a count for you. 'Cause last time he just dropped banners and he forgot everything. He was in a rush, so he said he had a count. If you do stop and see him, he might have it available there for
Yeah,
you.
he's gonna send me an updated list of, how you get a list of all the people that we have.
Right. I had asked them the last time I was there, and did not. I think they're pretty busy. So.
Yeah, he had graduation and he has pictures he's bringing back to us too that he forgot.
All right. On a side note, I got my grandchildren in the audience tonight. Aiden and Emmy, they're up from Maryland. They're here for 3 weeks. And they're just learning about government. So.
Nice.
Boy, Grandma and Grandpa are amping it up.
Yeah.
welcome.
That's it.
Matt, anything for the group?
no, he answered my own question. Thank you.
Pete?
He answered my question.
Yeah. Lori?
No,
No for the group or no for Pete?
no repeat. Things seem to be quieter. Don't know why. There hasn't been as many fireworks in our area. Normally, around 4th of July, they're booming all over. And probably, seeing I'm saying this,
this coming weekend will be my
Let me know how that works out. I'm sure you will.
Yep. Well,
Um,
my only concern is the kids, and when the kids are so close, yeah, I don't want the kids injured in any way.
I agree. Safety first.
So
Anything else?
that's.
Okay.
Did you want more?
Listen, I open up to the firing range every time for this meeting. So.
Okay.
Tony,
All set?
I got a question for you. Farmers market
Yes.
last week. Did you talk to Pancho? Or actually call him and say, hey?
No, I
not
talked to the
doing-
girls out there real quick because I was here by myself, so I couldn't be out there. I told them to let everybody know that we weren't doing it, and they might not have talked to Pancho.
Okay, 'cause like I said, when I came out of work and I looked over, so I ran over and talked to him.
Yeah.
So he says, nobody told me any different.
Yeah.
He told me 4th of July wasn't a Mexican holiday.
Yeah.
It's fake. I asked the wife. She's like,
Okay, so I guess if that happens again, we just make sure that we do reach out to them so they don't make a trip for nothing.
Yep.
he was busy.
Yeah, well, but everybody at first thought that nothing was there, and then I look over and he was here, so.
Maybe next year the application can just put in at the holiday place for.
Well, honestly, I mean, if you want to show up, I'm fine with it. I just, if it's on, it's on. If it's not, it's not. I mean, if he did okay, so. Did he?
Yeah, when I was punching out, they were
Oh,
pulling
yeah.
up their
Had to
tables.
wait in line to him down.
It was like 4 or something. They were packing up.
Okay. All right, Jack?
Since you put the speed signs up on Auburn Street, I haven't really noticed any reduction in speeds. I haven't run any radar, but you can tell, you know.
Oh, Kevin's right behind you.
Yep.
They were, when we were putting them up, they come on in, they were hitting their brakes pretty
They're
hard.
slowing down like
One year out. One is like.
By the time they get there, I want to try to speed up.
Yeah.
We still get them
exactly.
both through there 60 miles an hour.
I've gotten tons of questions on those signs, and yes, you do get a ticket, it takes a picture of your license, in about a year and a half, you'll get one and down. That's the main question we get, is that.
Is that run by cranes?
What's that?
Is that run by cranes?
But
Takes a year and a half to get a ticket.
Crane Street.
Oh, boy.
On the news, last week, there was DOT that was on, just stated that they have been watching 104. And 104 now has a camera that takes the pictures of it. One vehicle was 139 miles an hour, another one was 119, and another was 113.
Hey, can we reprogram these so we get high score?
I told you to slow that down.
I was saying the thousands for that.
I gotta get out of jail ticket.
So, but Kevin, you know anyway, so that's maybe one area to watch, you know.
Yeah, I try to get out on Auburn Street a couple times a day. It all depends on what time of day it's happening.
Yeah. Any particular time, Jack? I mean, one
Not
more
really.
prominent than the other?
I mean, it happens in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
it happens middle of the day, you just never know. I mean, we get tractor trailers go through there at 50 miles an hour and hit the Jake right in front of my house, slowing down for the corner.
Yeah, right in place, we have the 55 right into the 30. That's where we get all the speed clearance, which is
Yeah.
every street coming into the village is 55 into 30. I think some people do pay attention to those signs coming in, but
I'm a half a mile in.
What's that?
I'm a half a mile in.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, right there.
It doesn't stop people down Wadsworth.
Yeah.
I mean, just coming out of town, they do it too.
Yeah, like so
Come around
Wadsworth's
that corner
horrible
and
for it too.
score it.
I know on my street it's the same. It's all hours of the night. And it's really hard to nail it down when it actually happens. But we'll try to get it.
We get a cardboard cutout, hard to set up down there over there.
Front porch with a little radar.
You gotta do something.
Do you?
Yeah.
average speed, 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's faster there.
4
especially.
hour, 5 hour period, you know?
Mhm.
Ryan, you got anything else for the group?
I'm all set, thanks.
Donna?
No, just to thank Kevin for coming up on Sunset Terrace about a week ago.
Oh, you're welcome.
Our ring camera, all the action.
I try to get out to every neighborhood, you know, try to show the car around. People need to see it.
So down, around, and back.
I do. I go on Sunset.
See any
I
deer?
try to get up, I look on High Street and all the
Yeah.
dead ends, and people going there, used to see these cars up there. It's kind of, they get a lot of speeders over there, but still, I mean, you should see if this car once in a while. You get some
The
deer
fastest
flying
thing-
through there, that's
right,
about
the
it.
fastest thing running are the deer.
Right.
Eva?
Yeah.
No.
Rich? How you doing?
Pretty good, and you?
Good. Rosie?
I'm good.
Grandkids? Going to get ice cream?
His grandpa's talking. Well, be my grandpa. Yeah, I know, right? Can we all get it? Yeah. Yes.
You're welcome. All right, so if that's it, we go in executive.
Make a motion to 8:19.
Everybody stay cool. Watch out for the rain.